Hey guys, Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the show, back on the walkabout. Look at this beautiful, beautiful day we have today. Sunday, fun day. What a great live stream we had today. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna talk about something a little bit fun today. I don't think it's gonna be a long vlog. My vlogs are usually really long these days because I ramble on about nothing. But today we're going to talk about some of the unique and strange laws that I have learned exist in Sri Lanka, and also maybe a couple of the Southeast Asian countries as well. And also some of the unique vocabulary in Sri Lanka that I've learned living here for 3.5, 4 years, right after this. Hey, I'm Sri Lankan Sammi. Let's talk about life after 50. Real talk, no BS. How I went from Canada via South Korea to now chasing my forever home in Southeast Asia. Join me for this next chapter. Hey guys, we're back. So I'm a Canadian Sri Lankan citizen. I've retired semi-retired in Sri Lanka for the last 3, going on 4 years. I'm single, divorced, 20 years now. No kids, financially independent, healthy for the most part. And I've chosen Southeast Asia as my home base, as my area of my future. Sri Lanka as my home base because I'm a citizen. I have a home here, I have family here, I have connections. I have a passport. Southeast Asia because I have a Canadian passport and it's easy for me to travel and enjoy the freedoms and the cost of living and the food and the people and the friends I have in these many, many, many countries. But this channel is not about the costs or the visas or anything like that. This channel is about what kinds of things do you gotta watch out for or think about when you do make that decision to retire. Well, let's say, for example, in Thailand. Oh, let's say, for example, South Korea. South Korea, although it's not enforced, you must carry your identification with you at all times. Technically, the country is still in a state of war. You must have identification. Technically, you must physically carry the ID. You can't use a photo. But it's never been enforced. I've never been asked. I lived there for 18 years, never been asked. One law that is enforced is the praising of North Korea. It is illegal, because there is no freedom of speech in South Korea. It is illegal to praise North Korea or the North Korean leadership or the Kim family, the Kim family, the dictators of North Korea. If you are caught doing that or promoting North Korea, you can be arrested. As in any country, doesn't matter which one, participating in political movements is illegal on a tourist or retirement visa. Only citizens or permanent residents are allowed to do that. If you violate your visa, you can be deported, because you have to remember this, people. You are a guest until you're a permanent resident. Until you got that green card, you are a guest. You have no rights. And even as a permanent resident, you still don't have the full rights of a citizen. Please do not bring your Western ideology of laws and rules to another country. You're gonna get surprised. You're gonna get put in jail. Just look at Johnny Somali in Korea and Vitali in the Philippines. Those guys are gonna be spending the next 3 to 10 years in jail for just being stupid on YouTube. South Korea also has a law, very strict defamation and libel. If you commit a crime against me and you're convicted and there's evidence and you go to jail and I publish and say, look at this person, they did this, they are a criminal. Even though it's true, I can be sued for dishonoring Libel and slander are huge in Korea, in South Korea. You spread fake news or slanderous material, you can go to jail. It's happened before to a lot of people. One strange law doesn't affect you, it affects South Koreans, and this is how strange laws are in different countries. I want to point this out. As a South Korean citizen, the laws of South Korea follow you wherever you are on the planet. So for example, for South Koreans, it's illegal to consume narcotics and it's illegal to gamble. So if you go to Canada, where it's legal to gamble and consume narcotics, and you get caught by South Korean officials through like your social media, or they see you doing it, when you return to Korean soil, you will be arrested and charged. Happens to K-pop stars all the time when they go overseas and they do a little puff of the broccoli, or get caught in a casino in Macau or something like that. And when they get back, they're nailed. That's a very strange law. So there's a couple other strange laws. There's no discrimination law in South Korea. So when I ran a club, I could discriminate for whatever reason I wanted, anything. And it says no foreigners, no one over the age of 35, perfectly legal to do that because there's no freedom of speech or anything like that. So let's talk about Thailand. In Thailand, it's very interesting. In Thailand, it is illegal to disparage the royal family. Now, Thailand is a constitutional monarchy like Canada, but even more so, like the king, royal family does run the country, even though it's a democracy. If you disparage, say something negative about the royal family, any member of the royal family, you go to jail. People have been put in jail for it. Academics. Even just recently, an American was arrested. He was eventually released with a prompt because he retracted and left the country, but he'd been there for 25 years. He knew better, but he made a comment that was found offensive. Stepping on Thai money, because again, that's defaming the royal family, because all Thai money has the royal family's picture on it. Oh, yeah, in Sri Lanka, I'll come to Sri Lanka now. In Vietnam, I wasn't there long enough to learn strange laws in Vietnam. But being a communist country probably has some very strict laws. But we were on a tourist island, so it was kind of sheltered. But we spent most of the time with a local. He was our driver for the whole week. Really nice guy. He taught us a lot. But when I kind of got into some politics or anything like that, it kind of, you can't talk about that because he could get in trouble. Because I was in the southern part of Vietnam, which was the democratic side, which was invaded by the north. So it's very interesting. Thailand, those are the laws there. Vietnam. Philippines. In Philippines, an interesting law, and this is for you single guys who are thinking about getting into a relationship. In Philippines, there is a law that is specifically for women only as victims of a crime. A man cannot be the victim of this crime. Mental and verbal harassment of a child or a woman only. A man cannot be the victim of this crime. It is only a crime against men. And a woman can make a claim that she has been mentally and verbally assaulted, and you will go to jail until trial. In Korea, if you tell a woman that you love her so so that she will sleep with you and you don't marry her, you will go to jail. That is an SA under false pretenses, because the intimacy was under a promise of marriage or future relationship. It's very strange. I've known people who've gone to jail for that. Not me. So Sri Lanka, some strange laws in Sri Lanka. Hey guys, Sri Lankan Sammy here. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you're seeing, please think about subscribing and liking. Also, to help the channel get out in front of other people just like you, if you could comment, that will help the algorithm get it out there. And hit that bell icon so that you know when the next video is dropping. I truly appreciate that. If you want to sponsor me, scan the QR code right here, or click the link down below, buy me a coconut. Or if you are interested in life coaching, I offer that right here. Scan this QR code or click the link down below. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retire in Southeast Asia. We'll see you all on the other side. It is illegal. Well, first of all, you cannot buy alcohol on Poya days. So that's once a month, every month. Every full moon day, no alcohol, anywhere in the country. All liquor stores closed. All hotels and bars cannot serve. Well, all bars close, and then all hotels cannot serve. Some do because they have a special dispensation. They're entertainment venues as opposed to hotels. I think, I'm not sure. Another interesting thing, in South Korea, you can walk in public and drink alcohol anywhere, anytime. Being drunk in public is not a crime. The police will actually take you home. They won't arrest you. They'll take you home. I think it's the same in Japan. In Sri Lanka, I don't know if it's legal to drink in public, but it is 21 here in Sri Lanka, as well as driving. To get a driver's license, you have to be 21. Oh, you should see, I'm gonna be taking care of my license next year when I get back from Cebu. I'm gonna renew my license. You guys should watch that process of going through your license. Oh my God. It's the silliest, craziest, funniest thing I've ever done in my life. I don't have a driver's license in Canada anymore, but I have a driver's license in Thailand, in Sri Lanka, and in Korea. I have 3 driver's licenses, and I have an international driver's license. So when I go to Philippines, I will convert one of my driver's licenses into a Philippine driver's license. So you'll see that process. And I'll make a comparison between the different countries. So I guess the final thing is that in Sri Lanka, I don't know many of the laws because again, they have a helmet law, they'll nail you. And in Thailand, no helmet and no slippers when you're driving a motorcycle. Same in Philippines, they're very strict about the helmet law. Sri Lanka as well. Now here's the funny part of the story. And the words that they use here. So for example, it's British English, but it's a little different British English. It's not UK English, it's colloquial UK English from the 40s, from the 1900s, the early 1900s. So, I wonder which house is the one that's being built behind mine, one of these. Anyway, so for example, what do you call this? This is asphalt, right? They call it carpet. This is carpet. Because all the roads are dirt roads, right? And this is a carpet you put on top of the dirt road. They call this carpet. They call a fuel truck petrol, and they call it a Bowser. Gas station is a petrol shed or petrol station. Petrol is what they call gasoline, and gas is what they call propane. Because here we don't have gas lines, you have to buy a propane bottle and put it into your house. So they call that gas, propane gas. and they call gasoline petrol. The traditional British words, a lift for elevator, a boot for the back of the car, for the trunk. What's another word that they use? I should have written these down, but I forgot to. But the carpet was the first one. It was the one I thought was the funniest. Oh, I guess I didn't know as many as I thought I did. Or they're just slipping my mind today. Let me think for a second. It just slipped my mind now, I guess. But, I guess that's the funny part of this, is that there are words and they've just become so normal to me that I don't realize that I'm using them. Oh yeah, they don't call it a stove, they call it a cooker. The hot plate or the stove. I mean, we call it a range, which is the oven and the stove in one unit, but they call it a cooker. Oh, yeah, one of the main differences, I guess, as well, I forgot to mention, is that the language here is very old English, because Sri Lanka was colonized for hundreds of years. So we're not just talking about like the 1920s or the 1940s. We're talking about, 1800s. I actually can't remember how long Sri Lanka was colonized by the British, but long enough that the language is very old. I'm going to shoot myself after this because I don't remember the words, and I wanted to make sure the words. If you guys remember some of the words, comment below and let me know which ones I forgot. Jeez. I don't know. I forget. I honestly forget. But I guess we'll wrap it up then. I'll let you guys know. Whenever you travel to another country, the number one tip that I have learned from my travels is never, ever, ever, regardless of what has occurred, get into an argument with a local. You will lose. One of two things will happen. You raise your voice and you start to get into an argument with someone thinking that they will back down because you see people here in Southeast Asian countries are very, polite and kind, and they seem kind of timid. They will kick the shit out of you. How many times I've seen it happen in Thailand, seen it happen once in the Philippines, right? It doesn't matter if you are the victim. If you are yelling at another local, all the locals from miles around will come and beat the crap out of you, especially the taxi tuk-tuk drivers. They will gang up on you and you will not survive. And if you do happen to survive and the police come, you'll be put in jail. No questions asked, because you're the foreigner. So you don't speak the language. All the locals are saying, oh yeah, he started it. They're gonna take you away. What are you gonna say? I didn't do it? You got 20 people saying you did it. And they're gonna settle it in court. Now you're in jail for 6 months and have to pay thousands for a lawyer. That's the most commonest sense I can give you, is do not engage. Turn around and run at the slightest sight of anything going down. Turn around and run. And don't get involved. Cover your butt with any financial transaction, and don't give money to anybody without a receipt. Oh, geez. And don't get involved in a pay-for-play relationship with someone romantically. It's not going to end well for you. It's not. Okay? I'm not saying that people in Southeast Asia are bad people, but there are, in the whole planet, there are bad people who take advantage of others. Okay, and you just happen to be an easier target because you're a foreigner and you don't speak the language and you don't understand the culture, and you're an easy target because you got a lot of money. $100 to you is nothing, but $100 to a Southeast Asian is a lot of money. It's 2 months' salary, and average salary in Sri Lanka. So guys, always be careful, always be wary, you know, take care of yourselves, watch out for yourself, keep yourself out of trouble, just be calm. That's the most important thing. We as Westerners are so excitable, we're so fly off the handle, but like driving in South Korea, you're yelling at someone for what they're doing, but they don't know that they're doing anything wrong. You look like the idiot. So that's why I said, I don't care. I'm not here to change a country. I can't. So don't bother trying. Remember guys, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other, be kind, be happy. We're living life. Look at this, how beautiful this is. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. I will see you all on the other side.